going to give you a spotlight report on some great things that are going on at Raa Middle School and how important art education is for our students and the new magnet program that we have at Raa and the success. And Donna represents what all of our principals do. We have some of the best principals in the state, and I'm very proud of her as not only as a principal but as a friend, Donna Calloway.
Thank you, Superintendent. I bring you greetings, Superintendent Pons and board members, from the Raa Performing Arts Magnet Middle School, and that's a full name, and we're very proud of it, and an appreciation for being able to speak with you tonight for just a few minutes. When I talked to the one who called me about doing this, I said, how long do I have? And he said, like 3 to 5 minutes. And I think he was thinking, is that too much? And I'm thinking, oh, not any way at all. I'll stop at the end of 3 minutes, I hope. And if I don't, you'll have to stop me then. But let me tell you what we have in place in Leon County. And I have to say that the support for this program has come in an unusual way. There has been no extra funding, no $1 million that's come to make this school happen. It's come because we had a superintendent who said, go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it your way, what you believe in. To take you back a little time, probably about 12 years ago, Dr. Judy Bowers and Donna Calloway wrote a grant for $25,000 to fund a program that we had some ideas about being successful. We decided, after he'd done a lot of research, that there was a place for performing arts in a middle school. The reason being, our research showed us that students who perform, I'm not talking about observers, I'm talking about kids who perform in performing arts, tend to be more focused, more disciplined, more obedient, smarter in cognitive ways, more analytical. And if I were to ask you to describe a student that you wanted your child to be, I've just given you those descriptors. This was to describe the student that we wanted to build through a performing arts magnet middle school. So we started with $25,000. We wrote a grant with Best Buy, United Way, and the Senior Center. Did all the right pieces coming into the mix. And we ran that program for a year. When the year was over, we had not one single cent left. But we knew we were onto something rich. So we just decided to do it with no money, which is kind of an accomplishment. But we partnered with FSU and with TCC to make this happen. We used their students coming to Raa to mentor my students. And it paid off for FSU because their students learned by teaching our students music. Our students learned by being taught music, and it didn't cost either one of us a dime, not a cent. Well, we were onto something. Through the years, it has grown to be really phenomenal. Now, the kids who are in our 8th grade now have been in this program for 3 years. And if you walk on that campus and you walk around those students, you can see a difference. You can really see a difference. And the difference is that we are expanding our programs to reach students there who maybe don't have an opportunity to do that any other place in the world. And it's from the affluent and the non-affluent people. It doesn't matter. It's across the board. But we've created, if you were to come to Raa and want to know what we do, we've got dance halls. We've got dance rooms built by our wonderful people in construction and helpful that way. The best floors available. We've got, I'm looking at you, Paul. We've got bars. We've got the mirrors. We've got the whole thing. And it's blown the roof off. We've got 4 dance classes. We've got what culinary arts. Would you think of that as an art form? It most definitely is. We prepare and present and have our students trained in culinary arts. We even managed to reach out and include industrial, what's the second word of that? Arts in our art program. And we have drama. We put on musicals every year. We have piano. We have keyboard. We have orchestra. We have guitar. I'll stop there and say this. And we have steel drums. If there's ever a sales point, it's steel drums. We have kids who come into that program that I see in other areas of the school struggling to make it. struggling to learn and struggling to behave. They get in that program and they've never heard the sound before. They think a steel drum is the bottom side of a trash can because that's what it looks like. And yet they make music and they love it. Well, if you want kids to come to middle school, that's the weirdest age in the world, and all those who love of us who, Maggie, you know, who love that age group, we love them because they are so unusual. These kids love what we're doing. Now, let me just mention the challenges because there have been many. There have been many. One of the challenges is to incorporate an academic faculty with a performing arts faculty because seemingly they are in somewhat competition for resources, for time, for effort, for attention. We've had to use what I've labeled this year at Raa as the year of balance. Balance yourself. We've had to make each one respect the other. And we know FCAT and all the assessments don't measure performing arts. They measure the academics. So we've had to use our performing arts to support those programs in ways such as this. All of our teachers, including those who teach piano, those who teach orchestra, those who teach guitar, teach writing all the time. They write every week in those classes. They teach reading. They read and they use the vocabulary all week in those things. Our academic teachers see this as a supportive group. So they're building into that and they support each other. That's a very, if I had to write a book, and Judy and I are working on one right now, Judy Bowers and I are working on one right now, to show you the pitfalls, the danger points in this kind of program, you have to make sure your faculty stays together and admires and respects each other, even though some are in performing arts. So it's been a phenomenal adventure. We are not finished yet. We have a long way to go. But I want to invite you to come to some of the things we have there. We've got madrigal dinners coming up. It's our third year in a row to have madrigal dinners. We partner with Leon High School, and they perform for us. They perform all over everywhere. Our dancers go all over the South, to perform. I'll tell you this, and then I'll try to stop. But when I was first presented with an opportunity to do dance, if I had come to this board and said, Raa would like to do belly dancing this next year, I would imagine that the eyebrows would have gone up and the superintendent would have had, now wait a minute, that's a little bit too much. And I felt that same way, but had nothing to do with it, at all. We have multicultural dancing there that is second to none. We are invited out now. Through Georgia, we go there. This has been within 3 years. What's happened as a result? Our kids are focused. They behave well. Our faculty respects each other, and we're on to something great. Merely because years ago, Judy and I thought there is a way to captivate students in middle school with something that we know is the universal language of music and fine arts. It reaches into hearts and souls. And if you capture the hearts and souls of our kids, you've got the rest. And there's no cost to it at all. I could say a lot more, and I'll stop. If you have any questions, be glad to answer them. The biggest question can be answered if you come to Raa. Come and visit. And buy tickets when you come.
Ms. Bowen?
Oh, thank you, ma'am.